All right, so let's continue with the Starfish case, and we're going to do part 2 now. So it says here, part 2, these are the questions for part 2. Part 2, analyzing the program using conditional expectations. Continue analyzing the pilot program. So we're still working with the pilot data sheet. Use a pivot table to answer the following questions. Question 1, compare the average ages of people who participated in the wellness program with those who did not. So compare the ages, people who participate versus people who did not participate. So let's go to our data sets, and then let's, I'm going to create another, we're still working with the pilot. So I'm going to duplicate it again to answer part 2. So I'm going to right click and do move or copy, and then create a copy, and then move to the end. Okay. And I'm going to call this part 2. Pilot part 2. So this is my data, same data. So I want to create a pivot table to compare the age between those who participate and those who did not participate. So click anywhere in the data sets, go to insert, pivot table, and then I want to put it in the existing worksheet, and then location, click here, and then I'm going to click, this is where I want it. Let's say here G2. I want my pivot table to start here at G2. Enter, and then OK. So I want to compare the age. So the age is what I want. So I'm going to click on age and drag it here to some values. But I don't want sum. I want average. So click on this arrow down and click on value field settings and change sum to average. OK. But then I want it by whether or not they participate. So choose to participate, click on it and drag it to rows. And so here I have the difference between those who chose to participate and not. I'm going to go here, I'm going to format this, maybe only one decimal. And here's my answer. Those who chose to participate, their average age is 43.6. And those who did not choose to participate, their average age is 48.5. So it looks like the younger employees like in general, those who choose to participate are younger. On average, those who choose to participate are younger than those who did not choose to participate. So that's the first question. Question 2. How big is the difference in health spending between those who participated in the wellness program and those who did not? Now we're going to do the health spending. Okay? The difference in health spending. So go back here. I can use the same pivot table, and I'm gonna take the total health spending and then drag it here in the sum values. And again, to compare apples to apples, I don't want to do the total because the total is biased by how many people we have in each group. So I'm gonna do average. So click on the arrow and value field setting, and then change sum to average, and then OK. And let's see. Format is already formatted the same way as average age. Excel is smart in this ways. It can recognize some of the things based on what's been next to it, for example. So on average, those who chose to participate, they had less total health spending. So it seems that the program is working, but it's only, remember, no causation, only association. It looks like those who chose to participate, they had less health spending on average than those who did not. How much is the difference? So difference in spending, in health spending, that just equals this. Well, because it's a pivot table, it's not going to write what the form is, like the cell name. I'm just going to write it I3. I can just type it manually. I3 minus I4. So this is the difference on average. This is the difference in health spending. Okay. Right. Next question. 3. Which of the following best captures the conclusion we can make from the pilot program? So we can see here that those who chose to participate, they have less health spending. But can we say there is causation? The answer is no. Why? Because it's not an experimental study. There is no randomization. People were not randomly assigned to whether to participate or not. People chose. So this is observational study. So we can say there is association between choosing to participate and having less health spending, but we cannot say there is causation. So let's look at the possible answers. The wellness program reduced spending? No, there is no causation effects. Not because the wellness program the spending went down. So A is not the answer. The wellness program increased? No. Users of the wellness program had lower spending. Yes, this is the association. Those who were using the program, who chose to use the program, they had lower spending. So C is the correct answer. D, higher? No. So C is the answer for question 3. All right, let's continue. Use an if statement to create a new variable by recoding anyone over 40 as older and answer the following questions. So we're going to create a new variable first to see anybody who's over 40 as older. So to make a new variable. So I'm going to call here age 2. And then I'm going to do equals if, open parenthesis, age, so A2, greater than 40. I'm going to type greater 40, comma, and then I'm going to do quotation because I'm going to write a text, and I'm going to write older, and then close quotation, then comma, and then I'm going to write what I want this to be if it's not greater than 40. And then I'm going to do quotation. I'm going to do younger. Close quotation, close parenthesis, enter. Okay, so that's my formula. Let me copy it for you. If the age is greater than 40, then put older, otherwise younger. Now I want this for all my data sets, not just for this first person. So one quick way to do that, I'm going to hover my mouse to the bottom right corner until I see this dark plus sign, and then I'm going to double click. So now I have this variable called age2 that tells me if that person is a younger or an older person. Okay, let's look at the question again. So I did this first part, and then it says, what is the probability of being older? Okay, so older, so I need to know how many. I need to count how many are older divided by the total number of people we have. So I'm going to use pivot table for that. So go here, okay, and I'm going to do insert. So click here again, insert, pivot table, and where I want it, in existing worksheet, and this time location, I want it to start here, for example, at G11, enter, and then OK. So I want to count. Okay, so let's take the count is how many there are. So here we have the same number of people, whether you count age or you count choose participate, you count any of those variables. Okay, so let's say any of these variables you can drag here to sum of values, and don't want sum of age, you want to count. So click on value field settings and go to counts, change sum to count. Okay, so there is 5,199 people. That's how many people we have. Now we want to know how many of them are younger and how many are older. So I'm going to take this new variable age2 and drag it into rows. And this is now the split of how many older and younger. So we have 3,298 that are older and 1,901 younger, and the total, like we saw before, is 5,199. Okay, now probability of being older, let's do that. Okay, and write it here. P of older, so probability is equals how many are older, so that's age 12 divided by total age 14. Okay, let's make this 63%. So the probability of being older is 63%. All right, next question. What is the probability of participating in the wellness program? Okay, so let's do the same thing. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna do participating. So I'm gonna do another pivot table, insert, insert. Oh, let me first select where I am, where I want what the table itself. Click somewhere in the data, then insert pivot table, existing worksheets, location. I want the pivot table under here. Enter. Okay. And now I'm gonna do the choose to participate and rows, and then again I'm gonna do a count. So again, I can drag any of those variables for counts because they all have the same number. But let me just do choose to participate and drag it here in. I don't want sum, I don't want count. So value field setting, change sum to count. Okay, so again, you can see here, let's format this the same way we formatted everything else. So you can see here that the total number of people is 5,199, same, but 2,039 of them did not choose to participate, and 3,160 of them chose to participate. So to answer the question, what is probability of participating? We're gonna do here probability of chose to participate, and then I'm gonna do equals chose to participate is here age 20, so age 20 divided by age 21. I could just click on them, but it's not gonna give me age 20, so just do this so you can see the formula. But if I clicked, it would work. Okay, so 61% is the probability of choose to participate. All right, let's go to the next question. Is there a difference in health? Is there a difference in health spending between younger and older? Is there a difference in health spending between younger and older? So again, I think we answered this in part 1, but let's do it again. Younger and older. Let's add here the health spending. So total health spending, drag it here. Then arrow, change to average. So there is a difference. Okay, so difference in health spending between younger and older, and that difference is equals here, the difference here. So this is 12, I12 minus I13. Yes, there is a difference.